Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a fascinating chess battle, move by move, mistake by mistake, and moment by moment. Narayan Sunilduth begins with e4, thrusting the king-pawn forward confidently, claiming central space and daring Praggnanandhaa into open combat. Praggnanandhaa replies e5, matching strength with strength, immediately accepting the challenge and signaling a classical uncompromising struggle ahead. Narayan Sunilduth develops nf3, attacking the central pawn directly and accelerating development with aggressive, purposeful intent. Praggnanandhaa answers n6, calmly defending f5 while bringing a knight into the fight with smooth, textbook precision. Narayan Sunilduth plays bb5, pinning the knight and applying early pressure, clearly steering the game into Ruy Lopez territory. Praggnanandhaa pushes s6, questioning the bishop sharply and gaining queenside space without revealing deeper intentions yet. Narayan Sunilduth retreats b4, keeping the pin alive and showing patience rather than rushing into premature exchanges. Praggnanandhaa develops nf6, attacking the e4 pawn immediately and increasing central tension with confident piece activity. Narayan Sunilduth castles 0-0, prioritizing king safety and preparing coordinated central and kingside operations calmly. Praggnanandhaa strikes with b5, expanding aggressively on the queen side and forcing the bishop to relocate once more. Narayan Sunilduth slides, bb3, preserving the bishop and maintaining pressure along critical diagonals toward black's camp. Praggnanandhaa develops bb7, activating the bishop powerfully toward the center and eyeing future kingside targets. Narayan Sunilduth plays Rione, reinforcing the e4 pawn and aligning rook and king for central confrontation. Praggnanandhaa places b5, subtly targeting f2 and increasing piece activity with clear attacking intentions. Narayan Sunilduth advances k3, strengthening the center solidly and preparing the thematic d4 break. Praggnanandhaa responds d6, solidifying the pawn structure and calmly preparing for central resistance. Narayan Sunilduth pushes d4, exploding the center open and demanding immediate clarification from black. Praggnanandhaa retreats, bb6, preserving the bishop while keeping central tension flexible and controlled. Narayan Sunilduth advances f4, challenging black's queenside expansion and grabbing useful space confidently. Praggnanandhaa castles 0-0, securing king safety before tactical storms fully erupt across the board. Narayan Sunilduth plays bg5, pinning the knight and ramping up kingside pressure with visible ambition. Praggnanandhaa responds h6, bluntly questioning the bishop and refusing long-term discomfort without hesitation. Narayan Sunilduth retreats bh4, stubbornly maintaining the pin and psychological pressure on black. Praggnanandhaa lashes out with g5, an aggressive pawn thrust signaling fearless kingside intentions. Narayan Sunilduth sacrifices with nx d5, detonating the position and ripping open attacking lines instantly. Praggnanandhaa answers Hey xe5, accepting the sacrifice and trusting defensive calculation under intense fire. Narayanandhaa follows with bxe5, piling pressure onto the king side and fueling the attack further. Praggnanandhaa counters xd4, striking the center decisively instead of panicking on the king side. Narayanandhaa recaptures exd4, restoring material balance, while keeping central control alive. Praggnanandhaa jumps in xd4, launching a sharp counterattack that hits key squares and asserts central dominance. Narayanandhaa plays bd5, planting the bishop centrally, eyeing f7 sharply, and keeping attacking momentum alive against Praggnanandhaa. Praggnanandhaa responds n6, retreating the knight defensively, blocking dangerous lions and stabilizing the position under mounting central pressure. Narayanandhaa drops b4, preserving the bishop carefully while regrouping calmly for sustained kingside pressure. Praggnanandhaa pushes cheeks back, striking the bishop's base and reinforcing dark square control with practical, no-nonsense precision. Narayanandhaa lifts Ra3, a creative rook maneuver that clearly signals intentions to swing aggressively toward the king's side. Praggnanandhaa captures cx5, eliminating the dangerous bishop and simplifying a position that threatened to spiral tactically. Narayanandhaa launches rg3, swinging the rook with check and dragon direct pressure on the exposed black king. Praggnanandhaa retreats nd7, blocking the check calmly and consolidating defensive coordination without showing any panic. Narayanandhaa pushes f5, gaining space forcefully and opening central lines to fuel the attack further. Praggnanandhaa counters bxf2, a stunning Zwischenzug that shocks the position and brutally flips the initiative. Narayanandhaa accepts kxf2, stepping into danger bravely and trusting activity over immediate king's safety. Praggnanandhaa checks qb sides, activating the queen aggressively and dragging the white king deeper into the open. Narayanandhaa retreats kf1, absorbing pressure while desperately trying to reorganize his defensive pieces. Praggnanandhaa plays d5, calmly winning central material and extinguishing white's attacking fire completely. Narayanandhaa chooses qf3, centralizing the queen and probing carefully for counterplay chances. Praggnanandhaa jumps n4, planting a knight deep in enemy territory with menacing tactical threats. Narayanandhaa captures xe4, sacrificing rook activity to remove the dangerous centralized knight. Praggnanandhaa recaptures dsc4, restoring material balance while opening deadly central files toward the king. Narayanandhaa plays qf6, creating threats actively and refusing to let the initiative slip away quietly. Praggnanandhaa trades qxf6, simplifying decisively and steering confidently toward a favorable endgame. Narayanandhaa recaptures bxf6, keeping material hopes alive despite growing positional danger. Praggnanandhaa activates rf8, bringing rooks into play and seizing full control of open files. Narayanandhaa sacrifices rx forcing king movement and desperately searching for perpetual chances. Praggnanandhaa steps K-fight, remaining calm under fire and demonstrating complete positional control. Narayanandhaa Lina swings RS heaven, creating annoying 7th rank threats and refusing to surrender momentum. Praggnanandhaa responds Key 8, centralizing the king confidently as the endgame phase clearly approaches. Narayanandhaa Lina plays Ketu, bringing the king forward, knowing survival now demands maximum activity. Praggnanandhaa activates RG6, defending key squares methodically and preparing to dominate the board completely. Narayanandhaa Lina captures Bek-C5, grabbing material and clinging stubbornly to fading counterplay hopes. Praggnanandhaa answers E8, seizing open fields authoritatively and tightening the strategic noose decisive. Narayanandhaa Lina develops NC3, improving coordination and hoping centralized pieces might still generate defensive counterplay. Praggnanandhaa advances B4, gaining queenside space decisively and restricting white's knight and bishop activity. Narayanandhaa Lina captures Nix-E4, removing a central pawn and slightly reducing immediate pressure on his king. Praggnanandhaa checks RCT1, invading the 2nd rank precisely and forcing the white king into continued exposure. Narayanandhaa Lina steps K3, marching the king forward bravely, but remaining trapped in tactical danger. Praggnanandhaa captures Bx4, trading pieces efficiently and simplifying toward a clearly winning endgame. Narayanandhaa Lina recaptures Kx4, centralizing the king while standing on extremely thin defensive ice. Praggnanandhaa checks V1, driving the king back and maintaining relentless pressure with active rooks. Narayanandhaa Lina moves Kf4, narrowly dodging checks and stubbornly refusing to collapse immediately. Praggnanandhaa plays Rxcgt2, winning material cleanly and stripping white of vital defensive pawns. Narayanandhaa Lina checks right, forcing king movement and desperately searching for perpetual chances. Praggnanandhaa responds Kd, calmly stepping aside and keeping complete control of the position. Narayanandhaa Lina plays Rx, probing for weaknesses and refusing to resign despite worsening prospects. Praggnanandhaa counters Rg6, blocking the rook efficiently and neutralizing white's last active threat. Narayanandhaa Lina retreats Arch3, shifting fully into defense as attacking options vanish. Praggnanandhaa activates Rd gate, doubling rooks with authority and preparing the final strategic squeeze. Narayanandhaa Lina plays Rd3, giving check to gain tempo and a brief moment of relief. Praggnanandhaa responds K6, centralizing the king confidently and marching toward the kill. Narayanandhaa Lina pushes H3, creating luft and delaying immediate mating patterns. Praggnanandhaa plays F6, locking the structure firmly and sealing white's long-term fate. Narayanandhaa Lina activates his B7, attacking a rook and hoping for tactical distraction. Praggnanandhaa responds Rasate, calmly repositioning while maintaining complete control of open files. Narayananzunilduth retreats BB6, preserving the bishop but clearly running out of meaningful ideas. Praggnanandhaa plays Rashik 6, regrouping rook smoothly and reinforcing total positional dominance. Narayananzunilduth advances A5, pushing a passer with stubborn courage and fading hope. Praggnanandhaa checks, RC4 penetrating again and keeping the white king permanently exposed. Narayananzunilduth steps F3, edging away from immediate danger but remaining trapped. Praggnanandhaa plays R8, reinforcing the king's side and preparing decisive finishing maneuvers. Narayananzunilduth chooses RDT2, interposing defensively and slowing the collapse marginally. Praggnanandhaa swings RA4, attacking pawns and cutting off escape squares mercilessly. Narayananzunilduth plays RH2, doubling rooks defensively and bracing for the inevitable end. Praggnanandhaa centralizes Kafv, marching the king forward fearlessly with complete confidence. Narayananzunilduth strikes B37, poking at coordination and fighting until the final moment. Praggnanandhaa responds RECF4, calmly denying counterplay and maintaining iron positional control. Narayananzunilduth retreats BB6, completely out of resources as pressure suffocates the position. Praggnanandhaa pushes B3, creating a dangerous passed pawn that seals the strategic outcome. Narayananzunilduth plays Roan, tucking the rook back in a final defensive gesture. Praggnanandhaa checks E4, delivering a crushing blow that shatters remaining resistance. Narayananzunilduth steps K3, drifting helplessly as the checks continue relentlessly. Praggnanandhaa plays RD3T, keeping the king exposed and bleeding precious tempos. Narayananzunilduth moves KD2, staggering under pressure with no shelter left. Praggnanandhaa plays RF3, doubling rooks decisively and constructing the finishing net. Narayananzunilduth pushes H4, a symbolic final act of resistance in a lost position. Praggnanandhaa responds Arch3, locking the position completely, after which Narayananzunilduth resigns. That's the game. New. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next battle. Nielning, den la ding